city of Kayrnix. We're about to finish the mission in Balmorra for Darth Varas. It's been a while, since the last time I played this character, so I'm not sure if I remember, but I seem to remember indeed how to play this character in this spec. This is a lot of object, the invasion of Balmorra. The Empire launched a two-pronged attack on Balmorra during the war, believing Balmorra's weapon production facilities and proximity to the core worlds to be of great strategic importance. The first prong of the attack involved slicing and reprogramming the networked security systems that guarded the planet's factories, lab facilities and weaponry, in effect turning Balmorra's defenses against itself. The second prong was direct bombardment, aided by Balmorra's compromised orbital defense towers and satellites. This attack devastated the planet's primary military forces and central government, leaving a unified response nearly impossible. Eventually, the Empire landed a full invasion force. By this time, the Republic had come to Balmorra's aid, but was forced to abandon the planet with the Treaty of Coruscant, after which the Imperial military declared victory and established its headquarters in Sobrik. The Balmorran resistance proved more wily than the Empire anticipated, however, and Balmorra's factories proved difficult to control, leading to a years-long morass in which the Empire is still mired. So I think this chapter, the matter of talk, will be a series that already was aired and finished, and that I didn't finish because I rage quitted. And in comparison to one that I already talked about, and that series is that of Violet Evergarden. It was very hyped in its time, and sure enough, the first chapter, even second as well, were excellent. Especially the first and second show some signs of the problems that it will go through. The series is going to be talked about after this fight. Let's see if, yes, I got both. And with that, all killed. I think that was a good performance there. Yes, disassembled. Well, the premise of that series is a girl that was bought as a sort of a slave when she was very young, and then destined to be fighting in the war as a member of the military. And allegedly this girl has having issue because of lack of understanding of anything emotional. And he gets in range just when the countdown finished. So the thing is, since he is trying to be military and only works in the military, then she has, and the one who buys her as a slave doesn't see her as anything more than a weapon, at least the one that buys her for his brother. She has no knowledge. It's like when they buy her, it's like she's 10 years old perhaps, but it's more like an automaton to be ordered around and do the missions for the army. And allegedly she has no emotions whatsoever and no emotional understanding. However, that brother that was her commander officer during the war, which is in a steampunk kind of war, and there's a big war that is the equivalent to the real First War.
All better.
The commander officer, that is the brother to the one that bought her, is not as cruel as that, as one expects the buyer to be his brother, and he falls in
Factory is
love.
under attack. Headquarters has been breached and casualties are severe.
Keep your wits, Captain. What do we know of the enemy?
Target is carving a bloody path in this direction. Unconfirmed reports suggest it's Sith.
Consider them confirmed.
Commander, contact confirmed. The enemy is Sith. Repeat, the enemy is...
I can see that, Captain. Shut up.
Sith, I know why you're here. Be aware that these are the finest troops I've commanded in all my decades of duty.
Am I supposed to turn tail and run now?
My men and I would be disappointed if you did. Captain Ellerton, engage at will and hold the line. I'm coming with reinforcements. Right on out.
You're about to find out what we're made of.
You're made of bones that break and blood that spills.
You don't intimidate us. We've killed your kind before.
Enough talk, Captain. I can smell your fear.
Now taste death.
Men, attack!
Really, that area of effect attack was unnecessary because the dots would have killed them. Let's talk to this guy.
Commander, he should have been here by now.
It wouldn't have made a difference.
This means he's safe. That's all that matters.
Please, enough of this.
Commander, no. Run! Save yourself!
Just put him out of his misery, Sith.
He's suffered enough, I suppose.
Well, that's not what I was expecting him to say. I expected a wish for
It's
something
unfortunate they
more.
were on the wrong side. They were
What's
excellent
that?
soldiers and exceptional men.
Well, they fell down too easy.
They died like dogs.
It was difficult betraying them. You can't bleed with a man and not form a bond. Yet with their defeat, the Empire's cause is advanced. Today was inevitable. I knew Lord Barris would eventually have to eliminate me. But I'm proud to have been of service all this time.
Any last requests?
If I may, There is one thing. My son. He was the only thing in the world that was truly mine. And in love or weakness, I told him my secrets. I know you had to cover my tracks, but please tell me, did he face his fate well?
He wet himself.
You whimpered like a craven coward.
I see. You've crushed my spirit. Now the death of my body is a formality. When they find my corpse, there must be evidence of a valiant fight. We must make this look convincing, Sith. So I will not hold back. I will fight you as though you are my mortal enemy.
Maybe I'll break a sweat.
Then arm yourself. Tell Lord Barris it has been my great honor to serve him.
So, is you going to fight? Well, he does that and sits still, and he... Oh, it was just waiting for some... And done.
My lord, I believe we've got trouble. I heard your entire conversation with Commander Ryborn.
How could you hear my conversation? Have you been spying on me, Imperial?
No, my lord, as I told you. I've been surveilling the Jedi investigator. Apparently she bugged Rylor's quarters, and as she listened in on your conversation, I heard what she heard. The investigator knows everything, my lord.
Where is she now?
She was heading to her ship, because I had my men move in and cut her off from the Republic landing bay. I am systematically blocking her avenues of transmission and escape, herding that Republic scum to her only hope, the spaceport at Sobrik.
I will be there soon.
I'm afraid there's more, my lord. My men who engaged her report that she's wielding a lightsaber. It seems this investigator is a Jedi Knight. I advise caution when facing her.
Excellent. Today I kill a Jedi Knight.
I will gather my remaining men and meet you at the spaceport. We will crush this Jedi.
So now it is back to Sobrik. And I'm not far from rebelling. Well, as I was saying, that commander officer falls in love with her, and in the initial scene of the series we are led to see that she begins to develop love for him, but she doesn't recognize that feeling. Just for the first time she feels something emotional, but because her emotions have been suppressed by the training, she doesn't know what it is. Fine, so the first chapter is very good. She wakes, there's a fight, she is badly wounded, the other guy dies. Some time later she recovers from the coma and she has mechanical arms, and she finds someone that was friend of him and knows her, and it's immediately clear that that guy is also in love with her. And despite knowing well that she has no feelings, no emotions, although it's like he already knows, because reading the script, that she loved the guy, she doesn't tell her that he is dead. He instead tells her that the captain, he was the captain of the unit, has been transferred somewhere far away. You can say that is a character reading the script, and you might not quite like that, but to be honest, I don't think it would be fair to count that as an negative. After all, it's a narrative need. It's obvious that, and there are some needs, some things that, some bits that the story has to meet, and if that character tells her straight, no, that she has no emotions,
You're good to go.
or that since I don't know that she started to develop emotions for that guy, I tell her, sorry, that he died, then a lot of the stuff, some of the biggest stuff that the story has to get her through is lost, which is when she finally understands that she loved her and that she's lost him. So that's fine, not a negative. So that friend who is in love with her, I will follow out later.
You're too late, Sith. I already transmitted the conversation between you and Commander Rylon to the Jedi Council. Nomen Karr has his proof. Now Master Karr and his Padawan will track down and expose every Sith agent in the galaxy.
You won't be around to see it.
I will not fall today. Not to you. My intentions and motivations are clear, as is my mind. I have purity of purpose. I seek neither thrills nor satisfaction. Unlike you, I am calm.
You know nothing about me.
I know that by the shortcuts you have taken, your strength is thin. The dark side shall fail you, Sith. Save yourself, surrender, and the Jedi Council will give you every opportunity to discover redemption.
Sort of a
Save your
fight,
breath,
yes.
Jedi. You're going to need it.
Attack me and I will kill you.
And she's done and
Your
soon
victory
dead.
means nothing. The damage has been done. The proof has been transmitted. So deal the death blow, Sith. I am at peace, knowing that the greater good has been served.
I hate to burst your bubble, Jedi. No, that's a lie. I'm reveling in it. I intercepted your transmission. The Jedi know nothing.
Your failure is complete. How do you feel now?
Gloat all you like. It means nothing. I remain at peace. And Nomen Karr and his Padawan will still defeat you.
They will fall just as you have fallen.
I face my end, knowing what is true. I am resigned. Strike me down. I offer no further resistance.
I will savor your destruction.
There is no death. There is the Force.
How bizarre. She just closed her eyes and accepted death.
Sheer idiocy.
No matter. The threat is ended. Lord Barris will be anxious to learn what became of this. When you're ready, I'll contact him from my office.
I'm anxious to get off this planet.
Excellent. I'll go prepare. I'll be waiting in my barracks.
Okay, so the first chapter is very good, as I said. The friend then offers her a way to continue her life and get a path to do something and have a work. She takes her to the company that he leads, which is of girls that write letters for people who can't write or are not good enough with words to convey their feelings and what they mean to say to other people. And there are some characters, one with glasses whose name I don't remember, who is our second best writer yet, and she is very good and very skilled. We'll return to that later. Then they have Iris, who is their latest recruit, who is young, ambitious, and wants to aim to be the top of the company. And allegedly she is also quite skilled. And a third, whose name I also don't remember, which is the star, the best writer they have. Memory dolls they call them. The best there is. The big star that everyone who wants a very delicate matter handled, who want the best emotional sensibility to be doing the job, the one everybody wants, the most prestigious, the most skilled, that goes wide, long and beyond what everyone else is able to.
Place, Lord Barris. I leave that for your apprentice to convey.
Then step aside, Lieutenant. My apprentice has arrived. Nice of you to join us. Quinn refuses to update me, insisting the privilege be yours. I assume the Jedi investigator has been stopped.
She is dead, Master.
That is a relief. I had hoped to avoid confronting the Jedi, but our hand was forced. What matters most is that Rylon can no longer be exposed. And how would you assess Lieutenant Quinn's contribution?
Well, he pointed to the places that were needed and how to find them, I guess. Though he didn't help and was nothing in combat. Well, anybody else could have said, anybody else could have fulfilled all duty.
He was along for the ride.
Lieutenant, my apprentice's demeanor notwithstanding, I have been impressed with your efforts. You have more than made up what is owed to me. I'm putting you up for a captaincy and transmitting an executive order allowing you to station wherever you choose. You are dismissed.
Thank you, Lord Barris. If my actions benefit the Empire, they benefit me. I would have done the same regardless of our past. My lord, before I depart, it's been my extreme honor to serve you. You are the epitome of everything the Empire stands for.
You've been dismissed, Imperial.
Until we meet again, I salute you, my lord.
He will have his hands full. There are powerful Imperials dedicated to keeping him down. But if Quinn can overcome them and rise to the station he deserves, there is great hope for our Imperial allies.
Can we get on with our business?
You are quite right, apprentice. Quinn's fate is of small consequence compared to our affairs. Your presence on Balmorra is no longer needed. Return to your ship when you're ready to leave. I'll contact you there.
So, we're leaving, right? On to our next exercise in domination and destruction?
Domination and destruction are my favorite pastimes.
It's nice to enjoy what you're good at. Well, I hope the next place we end up has a beach.
By the way, what is punish? Social ability punish the target companion for his or her continued failures. Oh, that was what they did. Some I saw doing that. Good ability for the Sith. Sith warrior. Having a proper slave at his command. And well, that first chapter is indeed excellent. 21, what level are we? 19, 2 below. 2 levels below that. I think it's just enough to be able to survive in Narsada, so we will be going to the ship. And there's nothing really to say. The first chapter is perfect. And when that first chapter finished, I was as hyped as everyone about it. I thought Violet Evergarden would certainly, if keeping at that, be straight up top 3 material. Top 3 series ever. Any genre, any location, any type of series material. If not straight up to the top.
My lord, I hope you don't find my appearance here obtrusive. I beg an audience.
I'd hoped I'd seen the last of you.
My apologies, my lord. Perhaps my presence is unwelcome, but I hope to remedy that. As you know, Lord Barris enabled my reassignment anywhere I choose. It is an evolution I've longed for and assumed would never come. Aiding your mission on this planet has reawakened the ambition I began my career with, to make the most profound impact possible for the Empire.
Good luck with that.
I don't want to leave it to luck, my lord. I cannot think of a more glorious and honorable way to make a difference in the galaxy than to serve you. I'm here to pledge myself to you. I'm ready and willing to serve in whatever capacity you see fit.
You've been branded by Barras to spy on me, haven't you?
You should be so lucky.
Yeah, I recommend the experience.
My lord, if given the chance, I know I will prove myself to you. I'm a top-notch pilot, military strategist, and a deadly shot. I can fly this ship, plan your battles, assess your enemies, and kill them. You won't find a more tireless and loyal subject. I offer my military prowess and dedicate every ounce of my strength to your cause.
All right,
Whatever.
I'll find something for you to do.
An opportunity is
That's
all I
right.
ask. Thank you, my lord. I will submit my reassignment papers as we depart.
Well, anyway, after that,
Your stable.
oh, I think that yes, this is the second chapter. I thought was pumped up, but it was a clear sign that it was not so sure the series would keep the level, but overall it was very good. And if the rest was as good as the first and most of the second chapter, I could forget. I could forgive some mistakes like that. The problem is that it's just the first sign of what is to come. We have
Apprentice, I see you are ready to put Balmorra behind you. Good. The elimination of Commander Rylon grants security to my spy network, but there is still more to be done.
I'm primed for the next bloodbath.
I weep for anyone who gets in your way. Now, before I unleash you on Noman Carr and his Padawan, you must eliminate my spy on Nar Shaddaa. Head there immediately.
This is better than what I have, and this is the one I want. So we are going to have the first to see the first jobs that land on. Well, she chose Violet chose she wants to become another of those memory dolls because she wants to understand what she felt in that scene before the captain died, when she was attracted to some pendant, green gem, and felt something. And she thinks that by working at that, she will learn what that means. Fine. So she wants to be that, and he assigns her to work to be along the classes girl as first step to do something in the company. And the first is well done. A woman comes and wants them to write a letter for someone because he abandoned her, and she is very pained by the loss of that person, and she cries. And Violet, not understanding anything emotional, tells her to shut up and stop wasting time with the whining. She is quite rude. The client gets offended. End of the scene. That's fine. But then there's a man who wants to say something to a woman that went away. Then the glasses girl understands it as if he wants to apologize, and the letter she writes contains an apology, and he gets mad because of the apologize, because he doesn't want to apologize. He doesn't recognize that he made a mistake, and he blames the woman, and there's no repentance from him. And that is bad, because here it is not Violet who doesn't understand the feelings of the other man. It is the class girl who was meant to be one of the second best, one of very skilled at understanding emotions. Not only it's written to display the emotions that are requested and are needed, but to understand, and she fails to understand, then the client is non-repentant and the client blames the woman. It was Violet who had problems with emotions. Yet now, you are telling with me this scene that the classes girl who was so good, she has had high emotional sensibilities, wasn't up to that. Was the one with the problem.
Okay. I can't take this anymore. Look, I throw myself on your mercy or whatever. Please. Just please remove this collar.
Let me see if I can find the right button.
Real nice. Jerk. You think that's gonna break me?
Oh, you are in for a lot of sucking and slapping. Yeah. So the next day arrives, and the head of the company has a pile of complaints about the letters that were written by the girl with glasses. The girl with glasses was one very skilled at reading the letters and understanding the emotional problems. It was not Violet. Now you're telling me the one who doesn't understand the emotions is is, is the writer, because apart from that first letter, it's been the glasses girl fault. It should be lots of complaints because the letters were fine, but the girl that was there was very annoying and rude and offensive. It should come all from Violet. She's the one that has the emotional problems. But at that point you can say, well, they missed that. This series, it is kind of a big error, but if this is the last that we see like this will still be a top shelf stuff.
My lord, I have settled into my quarters and fully acquainted myself with the ship. I am at your disposal.
I want you on a persistent state of alert, Captain.
I won't disappoint, my lord. I am fully trained in all aspects of operating this vessel. I can navigate and pilot it to perfection.
You'll have to prove yourself, Captain.
I'm ready, my lord.
You wish to speak?
Yes, my lord. I wanted to update you on the condition of your ship. It has responded extremely well to my optimizations. I'm pleased to report that we are operating at peak efficiency.
I'm glad to hear it. Keep up the good work.
I fully intend to, my lord.
Let's not waste any more time.
As you decree.
So it's level 20 now. We are this that free to play players have reduced experience gain. I never noticed a big difference.
Permission to speak freely, my lord.
Fine, but don't annoy me and make it brief.
Yes, my lord. There's a reason I was languishing on Balmorra before you arrived. A decade ago, I served under Moff Broysk at the Battle of Druckenwell. Moff Broysk made a critical oversight that brought the fleet to the brink of complete defeat. I ignored his order and turned the tide to victory.
I take it the Moff took exception to that.
Your intuition is flawless, my lord. Broysk took credit for the reversal, which is fine. But then he court-martialed me. Darth Barris assigned me to Balmorra, or my career would have been over. Moff Broysk has blocked every transfer promotion I've been up for since.
I have no tolerance for fools like this Moff.
I could say more about him, my lord, but my point is made. I serve you now, I have no regrets. I'll return to my duties.
And then there's another another mistake, which is it could be easily solved. Later, there's a woman that comes to the company late, and she asks for the big star memory doll who is away. Iris is also away. There are only the glasses girl and Violet. The glasses girl should know perfectly that Violet is completely incapable of understanding emotions and cannot do anything at all of what is the work there, even less if it is something that involves petitioning the big star of the company. Yet, the glasses girl doesn't stop her, and it is Violet who takes the letter, who takes the work, and listens to the woman and takes the letter. That makes no sense. You are again telling me something that means that the one with the huge problems of personality, of emotions, judgment is the glasses girl. At this point, you are telling me then that the glasses girl has emotional and psychological problems are far more interesting than the problems of Violet with simply not having understanding on any emotion. And it could be easily solved by saying that because Violet is so committed to working because of her military training, where she stays later than everybody else, will have that done. You'll have that what I was going to say. Well, you have that, then Violet is the last one to leave the workplace. There's nobody else. She closes the shop, the company, the place. And this client arrives after everybody else is away. And so she takes the work because from her training, she doesn't know to say no because she must obey orders and the client orders her. And there's nobody there to stop her from taking the job. So she takes the job. But that's not the big problem. The big issue with this scene, of course, the next day the client arrives and complains, makes a big fuss with a reason because what Violet wrote is completely messing up her relationship with her boyfriend. She loves a man that doesn't correspond to him for some reason. She wants to marry him. She wants him to engage with her and be officially engaged. And for some reason he doesn't dare, or he doesn't take the step. And she asks him, and she has some fears that she expresses of whether he believes that if she is in there for the money or for presents or something, well, rather, she explains that she is fearful of either not being aggressive enough, but that if she comes off as an easy girl, then people will think bad of them. And then she wants him to work off earning her love, so she can say that he conquered her and worked and had to work for it.
Didn't lose you.
Let's see, do I have something? There is anything, it's also no point in keeping anything here. In fact, I will go to the shop. So that's it. She wants to get engaged with him, but she doesn't want to appear to be easy, and so she wants him to do some overt work to save face, so she can save her face and say that she wasn't easy, that he needed to work to gain
Looking to
her
upgrade
love,
your arsenal?
her but the problem here is that I can wear it. Oh yeah, I can wear that. The problem with that is that according to what we
Good
are
hunting.
told about Violet problems and the behavior previous to that, the letter that Violet writes should be plainly what the client asks said. I don't want to appear to be easy, so I want you to do a comedy, to do, no, sorry, a comedy. I don't want to look easy, and I want you to do stuff so that I can justify to others, to third parties, that I was not easy and you had to work for my love. And she might be angry because perhaps that's something that he dislikes, because then he understands that it's also so that she doesn't love him enough to be able to express her love without thinking on third parties. Instead, it is a letter that is, yes, wrong, but it's wrong in the wrong way to reflect that supposed incapacity by Violet. Narsata. Because the letter contains some degree of interpretation, and that's something that at this point, sorry.
I see you've landed on Nar Shaddaa. It is, I'm afraid, the armpit of the galaxy.
Must be your kind of place, Barras.
In my youth, perhaps. Nar Shaddaa is a planet of frivolity and distraction. Gambling, spice, rampant black market and gang territory disputes. But you are there to eliminate my spy, Agent Delicon. Normally it would be a trifling task, but Delicon has acquired a powerful ally.
Tell me his name so I know what to put on his epitaph.
Agent Delicon's new benefactor is a young Sith Lord named Rothari, an upstart who openly disrespects my methods. Rothari prefers a more blunt approach. The Dark Council has granted him dominion over Sith interests on Nar Shaddaa.
This Rothari and I might have a lot in common.
If he continues to cross me, he will soon be dead. I doubt you want to have that in common. Agent Delicon knows much about my organization. I cannot have Rothari in possession of such a resource. Burn Rothari to the ground. Destroy everything he's working for. And kill Agent Delicon.
Sounds like my kind of fun.
Haladrel Setson runs my slave operation on Nar Shaddaa. She has been a valued operative for many years. She is ready to receive you and can fill you in on Rothari's movements and interests. That is all.
Lord Rothari, a young and ambitious Sith Lord, Rothari has been placed in charge of Sith interests in the Nar Shaddaa by order of the Dark Council. Quiet and confident, Lord Rothari prefers the direct approach to dealing with opposition, using strength over finesse, and subtlety. And subtlety should it be that Barras and Lord Rothari share a bitter hatred of one another. Barras considers this young Sith a respectful upstart, while Rothari openly criticizes Barras's methods and sees him as an overrated meddler. Fed up with Rothari's interference, Barras has at last called for the Lord's death. So at this point where Violet has had nothing to hear anything, she should still be in the face. I cannot interpret anything. I take everything literally, word by word. This kind of error has a place in Violet's progression, but should come a little further down the line, not far. But there should have been something where the literal understanding and therefore lack of true understanding, the incapacity to interpret happens. Then we get to the next. He starts to understand to be able to interpret what is said, but she interprets it too badly to fully understand what it means, what she's told, what she interprets, and the big differences between one and the other. And I think perhaps we will stop here and do a quick passage of chapters dealing with this series, and only Kayrnix instead of wait for the next chapters of the Pathfinder series. So we end the second chapter, and there has been already one big mistake. That doesn't necessarily mean yet that the series is going to be especially bad. You could still say, well, yeah, sure, this will not be the starting point of her travel. This should be a bit down the line, very soon in the travel to understanding emotions. But perhaps if we did right now as if she still took everything at face value literally, then the whole trip will take way too long for the chapters that we have available. So at the end of the second chapter I was still thinking this series could be quite good and still top stuff. But in the next chapter we will see how the third chapter, after that, there's a chapter where it starts strong. It seems that it's going to be a very good series after all. Then continues looking good. Then at the end stumbles, and I start to get a bit pissed off about this series, though not still completely losing hope, as it is still quite salvageable and it can still turn out around to be a quite good series. The thing is, we will see after in the next chapter, and it ends that way. Ends badly, but well, we'll see. Corellian sector of Narsata. Although individuals from many planets and species live in the Corellian sector, it's humans of Corellian descent who made the area what it is today, a pro-republic criminal's paradise. There is no cargo that can be There is no cargo that can't be offloaded here, and no job so dirty that someone won't take it. The families of migrant workers live alongside grizzled Republic veterans who settled on Narsata to retire in a style, happily turning a blind eye to the darker activities around them. Over the past decade, the gangs and pirates of the Korean sector have become overshadowed by the presence of the exchange. Once a group mentioned primarily in HoloNet information crime reports, the Exchange Crime Syndicate has found an army of able recruits of Narsata willing to back its slicers and spice refiners with muscle, much to the dismay of the Hood Cartel. And this is all for today. and for this chapter. I hope soon enough there will be the continuation of the Narsata mission and the critique on Violet Evergarden. Thanks for watching and goodbye.